Hi, good morning. It's very much actually kind of deep in the evening now. I'm in nature because there's someone right there. I'm in nature because I've been walking every day lately for about the past month, maybe a little bit more, except for this week I didn't get to do that like at all. So this is my first walk in a week, maybe a little bit over a week. And usually I don't go walking on the weekends. It's Sunday now, but usually every day after work I'll go take a walk for like an hour or so. Um, so I'm here. Um, I'm just holding my phone. Ugh. See, in my mind I was like, oh, I'll just sit down on the ground, and ooh, nature, ooh, so aesthetic, whatever. But really, I'm like, oh, it's dirt out here. The grass is really tall. I'm afraid of bugs. Like, I'm not doing so great. Yeah, I'm not doing fantastic. So, forgive me for the framing of this and how it's going to change drastically throughout. But anyway, so I'm finally back out in nature. I've been liking walking because, you know, instead of like lying on my bed scrolling on TikTok, I just go outside and scroll on TikTok. And it's like, well, this is better for me. So let's do this. The one thing though is, I think I've actually conquered this recently, but the thing about making it a habit to walk every day is that when I would take a rest day or just be like, oh, I'm not going to walk today, I would feel like really down. Much more so than even before I started walking at all. And much more so than I would if I had taken a walk. So, like, if the weather was bad, or I just was tired, or some days I would be out for like 2 or 3 hours, and I'd come home and just the next day I'd be like, I'm tired, I don't want to walk today. And that's good, like, you should rest. But mentally I would feel like so bad, like, oh, I didn't accomplish my one little thing. I feel like I'm rotting like into my mattress because I didn't take a walk today. And it's just like, oh my god. But well, I've been really tired in general this week, and I'm gonna get to that. Oh my god. Listen, the video quality is going to be bad. I thought I was going to be cute. No, I can't hold my arm like this for 30 minutes. Yeah, I'm not sitting down, sorry. So, we're just gonna have to go with this because I wanted to sit in my car and I just like, I couldn't get myself to do it. I felt like this is the only way I was going to like film something. So, hi. So, like I was saying, my schedule for this week has been really disrupted because I had jury duty and they picked me. So let me just walk through my week because it has not been good. Ooh, there was a fly. So Monday was just Monday was Monday. You know what I mean? It was not great. And I was taking time off because on Tuesday I had jury duty, and on Thursday I was supposed to have a dentist appointment. So Monday was just Monday. Was not feeling great, but I was like, at least I can sleep like 30 minutes later before I go to jury duty on Tuesday. And then on Tuesday, I did indeed go to jury duty. And like, I was stressed out about it. That's what I was like sort of thinking about all Monday night, was just like, what's this going to be like? Because I don't really mind like the idea of serving on a jury. That part, I was kind of like, if anything, interested and like excited to do. But what I was afraid of is being put on a criminal case and being shown evidence that was really like gory or triggering or violent, you know what I mean? And then they're just like, okay, bye. And I walk away with new trauma. You know what I mean? Just like seeing stuff that is scary. And the thing is, I do consume true crime content, but usually like podcasts or like the videos I watch, they don't put crime scene photos or super gruesome stuff. I'm always filming myself from like the worst angle possible, but it's fine. I don't want to be like, It's fine, I can be down here. It's okay, we're eye to eye. So that was my big stress about jury duty specifically. But actually, when I got there, it was not really like I expected. I went to the jury pool, and so much of it was waiting. A good 2 hours I was waiting. About an hour and a half into that, they started calling numbers. But there was still a lot of waiting in between calling numbers because, like, I don't know, I guess some people were ready for jury selection, some people weren't. Like, they were like, okay, we're ready, and then they were like, oh, actually we're not. Oh, bug. See, in my mind, nature is like different from real nature. Like, I like being out here, but I'm also very much a city girl. Not that kind. But you know. So, my hope for the day was I was going to sit in the jury pool till about like, well, once I got there and I saw it wasn't moving, they were like, the most of you will get out at like 12 because that's when they break for lunch. They were like, the most of you we're going to try to let out at like 12 or 1 at the latest. When they have their lunch break or whatever, they're like, we're going to try to get you guys out of here. And I was like, great. And there were only like 5 cases up, 4 criminal cases and 1 civil case. So my hope for the day was that I would not be called, or I would be called for something like really quick. Then I would be like called and then released. And then I would go home, or like, yeah, go home, get lemon pepper wings, have a day off, and then go back to work on Wednesday. But instead, what had happened was my number was the very last number that they called. The very last group, the very last number, it was me. And they brought us up. It was more like hurry up and wait. Like, actually, they were like, everyone line up. We lined up. And then after a few minutes, they were like, okay, everyone sit down. But wait, because they're going to do jury selection, but they need more time. This is so janky. But I'm going with it because this is how it's going to get done. And we are human beings, not human doings. Anyway. So sit down again. Wait some more. And they're like, okay, everyone come up. We go up into the courtroom. It is a criminal case. So the judge was like, okay, we started picking jurors yesterday. We have 12, we need 2. So, like, sit tight, we'll get going. Then we go outside again and we line up. Well, they give us like some screening questions and take notes, whatever. You know, jury stuff. And then we go and wait some more. People are called in like one by one. It's my turn. They ask me my questions and have me step out. And long story short, they picked me. And they picked me so fast that I was like, what is it about me that was so choosable? If it was like something that I said, or if it was just that like there was nothing like objectionable about me. Because there were other people that they were sort of going back and forth. I did tell them I had to go to the dentist, and they were like, can you move that? And I was like, yeah, I guess so. And they were like, okay, do. So yeah, I stepped out of the room, and then immediately they had me step back in, and they're like, "You're picked, let's go." So they bring me up into this other little room and give me like my jury card, whatever. And then I'd sit there basically for the rest of the day because they finish court at like 4:30. So at that point, it was before lunch, because I remember them telling us like, you can go and get lunch and then come back here. Yeah, they picked me before lunch, so I basically sat there the whole day, just in this like little room, watching more and more people come in. Turns out that they had picked 2 and they needed 12. So they really gave our group like false hope that no one was going to get picked. Actually, thinking about it, I think I can picture in my mind the 2 people that got to leave, and I think a couple other people ended up having to, or not having to, but being excused as well. Yeah, I think so. Because by the end of the day, they were saying like, oh, we need to pick one more person. And I think that might have turned to 2 people. I don't know. Anyway, so I was like, oh, there goes all my plans. And it's like, I knew there was a possibility to be picked, but I don't, just from like stuff other people had told me, I'm not sure why I was expecting not to, but I was. But I wasn't like devastated to be like doing jury duty. Like, I'm really fine with it, and I think it's pretty interesting. And I'm kind of nosy, so I'm like, I want to hear about this. And it's not like a violent crime. It's like theft. Yeah, it's just fine. But it is, the days are very long, and I did almost fall asleep in court on Thursday or Friday. So just in general, I had a really long day on Tuesday, and then things were like sort of weird from the moment I left. I was in a train station, and I was buying a train pass. Someone just like came up to me and like stared at me until I gave them money. And I don't mind being asked or anything, or giving it either. It was just a really weird interaction. So I was like, that's kind of odd. And then I had to wait 10 minutes for the train. While I was on the train, when you're on the train, you like willfully dissociate. So I was very much in my phone, very much in my headphones, like not trying to make eye contact with anyone, because that's just how it is on public transportation. Like, I grew up on public transportation, and that is simply what you do. Don't talk to anyone, don't look at anyone. Just be in retreat so deeply into yourself. So I hear like people talking right in front of me, and I look up, and these 2 dudes are hugging. So I was like, oh. And I looked down again, like I was not, it was just like, oh, people are interacting. I looked down again, I'm back in my phone. And then this guy is yelling, like, get off of me. And he had pushed the other guy who had hugged him away from him, because they were strangers apparently. And I did not know that. And then the hugger became very aggressive and started like shouting, like, do you want to fight me, etc., etc. And man B was like, no. Like, no. I'm laughing because I'm anxious about it, not because it was funny. Like, I could hear that he was afraid and upset about this. And the hugging man, like he had instigated this. It seemed like to me almost to start a fight. Like, most people, it's not like a miscommunication or a mistake to step over the boundary of touching a stranger, you know what I mean? So I was like scared. And they were directly in front of me. So it was just like immediate tension and anxiety. So we pull into a stop and the door opens and I just kind of like slide out. I just grabbed my bag and like moved as sideways, as far away from them as possible as I could, and out the door. And I thought about getting into a different train car, but let me cover up this man in the background. I was thinking about getting into another train car, but I just let it close in my face and waited another 10 minutes for the next train. While I was waiting, there was another situation too that was happening on the train platform. I was far away from it, but I could hear someone yelling, and the like transit police like walked past me. So it was just like, what's going on today? You know what I mean? Later that night, it was probably like 11:30. That was the first time I heard the news about Jordan Neely. And I just cried for like 3 or 4 hours off and on, because first of all, because it's very upsetting. That like the whole situation is very scary and upsetting. But also because I had that situation on the train and I fully ran away, and like, really not to make it about myself, but just to tell you about my experience hearing about that. I cried for a good 3 or 4 hours, and just thinking about so many things, including what had happened when I was on the train, and other like situations that I've seen on public transportation. Because sometimes I think about like the like weird traumas that you can pick up from just being in public, being on public transportation. Because stuff just happens, and it's not all the time like these huge scary traumatic events. Sometimes it's just a compounding of things over a long period of time. I don't even know. I was just thinking about stuff like that, and about this idea of being like a bystander. But I don't know. It just really had me deep in the dumps. And so I get up on Wednesday, having had 3 hours of sleep, 3 or 4, and it's back to court. Wednesday, luckily, was a shorter day, but I did end up getting home late anyway. Oh, yeah. So, at some point on, like, early Wednesday morning, late Tuesday night, my teeth just started to hurt, and I had no idea what was going on. Like, all of my bottom teeth and all of my front teeth were just super sensitive and like vibrating in pain. This might have even happened Wednesday night. I don't know. I very much lost my sense of time. My teeth were in so much pain. And I was really like, well, I canceled my dentist appointment, so I can't do anything about this. I tried like oil pulling with coconut oil, because I've heard people say that it helps with pain and sensitivity, but like I didn't even know what was going on, and it was not effective. I did it like 2 separate times, and it did not help me. It did eventually go away on its own. I think it might have a friend of mine was saying it might have been an anxiety thing, like if I was gritting my teeth together, but I don't see how that could cause like the sensitivity feeling, because it was like in my teeth, not like at the root. You know what I'm like? I do grind my teeth and like clench my jaw, and I can usually feel that like in the back on my like flat molars. But this was my front teeth, and it was like all through my teeth. It felt really bad. Even thinking about my week, I'm tired. And standing here, I'm tired. But it's alright. That pain went away by Thursday. Even though I was super tired and sleepy for Thursday and Friday, I was okay. Yeah, I was just okay. The days are really long and really draining, but luckily all the jurors get along, so it's not the worst. We're either in court where we get our breaks so we can, they let us go outside, so it's one thing about me, I always like to go out for lunch. Like when I'm at work, I don't like to stay in the building, and that's why I don't bring my lunch. I feel like it refreshes my brain to like just be out of the space, even if I spend too much money, but that's fine. One thing I'm willing to spend money on is lunches, and that's my thing. So everyone was hoping to be done by Friday. We might be on Monday, maybe Tuesday. I think it's gonna be Tuesday, but we're all hoping for Monday. And Monday is a half day, so yeah, I don't think we're gonna be done. And if it goes to Tuesday, that will make it a full week of jury duty, which, anyway, which all in all, I don't mind. I don't really know what my job's policies are, but legally they have to pay me for 3 days, and then the court from the 4th day on will give me $50 a day, which is not a good amount of money for people. Like, I don't pay rent, and I have a good amount of savings, but if you're someone who's like out on their own and living paycheck to paycheck, which in a city as expensive as mine, most people are, because to not be living paycheck to paycheck, you need to be making $100,000 a year. Also ridiculous, but we move. It really isn't like good enough for people. Like, not a great motivator for people to take their time or even want to do jury duty at all. But that's the way it is, and you know, even the money like part of it, like it's like oof, but I'll be fine. Like, other than that, and the even if there's a lot of waiting and it's really it's exhausting in a special kind of way, it is interesting to be a part of be part of the process. And a bug landed on me, but it's okay. To be a part of the process and learn like information I otherwise wouldn't know. Like, there's a lot of stuff going on. Okay, so that's going to be it for me today on my stand in the wilderness. I was supposed to be walking, but like, why would I walk and be on video? But now after a half hour of standing, I'm gonna go take a walk and go home. Well, if you like me, tell a friend. If you don't like me, tell an enemy. Comment in the comments your thoughts and feelings about the past week. You know, where you've been emotionally, mentally, etc. My sense of time has been completely obliterated. So that's where I'm at. It's almost like it's a break, but at the same time it's like grueling. I don't know. We'll see where this goes. All right, goodbye. I did end up having lemon pepper wings. That was the only good part of my day. Oh my god. I think a leaf fell on me. I'm fine.